Before we begin, if you've ever felt trapped trying to control every move of the market, you're not alone. Subscribe to Mindwired Trader, where we explore not just the charts, but the mind behind them. Because trading mastery doesn't start with control. It starts with awareness. Now, let's begin. The market cannot be controlled. Yet every trader has tried. Not with strength, but with the quiet belief that if they are smart enough, fast enough, disciplined enough, then somehow, the chart will bend to their will. But behind every glowing screen lies a truth few accept. The harder you try to control the market, the more the market controls you. You wake up earlier. You watch every tick, every candle, believing patience can be replaced by intensity. Each move against you feels personal. An insult to your conviction. And every small profit becomes proof that you've figured it out. But the market doesn't care. It doesn't remember who was right yesterday. It doesn't seek fairness. It only moves. Without emotion, without mercy, without meaning. At this point, most traders are no longer trading the chart. They're trading their illusion of control. A silent psychological trap that convinces the mind it can dictate outcomes, when in truth, only a fraction of this game was ever under your command. It creeps in quietly. In the moment you widen a stop loss because the market will turn soon. When you double down on a losing trade because the setup is still valid. Or when you stare at the screen for hours, afraid to miss what you think you can predict. Behind every move, there's one common thread. Fear of losing control. Each time the price moves unpredictably, adrenaline surges. The brain scrambles for patterns, searching for logic inside chaos. This must be manipulation. It's just market makers hunting stops. Or the favorite excuse, I was right, just too early. But the truth is simple. No one is right all the time. No strategy lasts forever. And no system can tame something built on uncertainty. The traders who survive aren't the smartest, nor the fastest to analyze a chart. They are the ones who learn, sooner than others, that total control is an illusion. The market is a mirror. It reflects everything you bring into it. Your ego, your fear, your greed, your need to be right. And the moment you try to control that reflection, you forget that shadows don't obey your hand. The way out of this illusion is not through surrendering to loss, but through acceptance. Accepting what you can and cannot control. You can control your risk, your reaction, and your discipline, but never the direction of the market. The sooner you realize that, the quieter trading becomes. You stop fighting the current and start flowing with it. And in that flow, you begin to see what true control actually means. There comes a point when every trader faces the same storm. Not on the chart, but inside their own head. You start the day with a plan. You've analyzed every time frame, drawn every level, and told yourself, this time, I'll stay disciplined. But then, the first candle breaks the rule. The plan begins to feel too rigid. You tell yourself, maybe I should adapt. And just like that, the mind begins to bargain with the market. Every tick becomes personal. Every small loss feels like a challenge to your control. You enter again, not because it's logical, but because it feels unbearable to not act. That's the illusion. You think taking action means taking control. But often, it's just emotion disguised as logic. The brain loves control. It craves certainty, patterns, cause and effect. But markets are not built that way. They are a reflection of millions of unpredictable decisions. Not one trader's belief. And yet, deep down, you keep trying to prove that you're different. That you can master what others can't. You read more books, test more indicators. Switch strategies every few weeks. And when results don't change, you tighten your grip. Forcing trades, cutting winners too early. Chasing losses that feel deserved. It's not greed anymore. It's desperation for control. You don't even trade for profit at that point. You trade for relief. For the fleeting comfort of believing you can predict what happens next. And that's the cruelest trap. Because the tighter you grip, the faster control slips through your fingers. You see it in the hesitation. When you second-guess your own setup. Move your stop-loss just a little. Or cancel a trade at the very candle that would have hit your target. You see it in the anxiety. When you stare at your open position. Heart pounding with every tick. Refreshing the chart even though you know nothing's changed. And you see it in the denial. When you say, it's just bad luck. Instead of admitting, I'm trying to control something that can't be controlled. This is the battlefield most traders never talk about. Not charts, not entries, not exits. But the invisible war between logic and emotion. Between surrender and control. And here's the truth the market keeps teaching. Over and over again. Until it finally breaks your ego. The moment you try to dominate the market. It mirrors your weakness back to you. Every losing streak. Every revenge trade. Every sleepless night spent trying to make sense of chaos. It's not punishment. It's the market's way of showing you that your fight for control is the real enemy. Control feels safe. But in trading, it's an illusion built on fear. And the deeper you cling to it, the further you drift from true consistency. To understand what real control means, you have to lose the illusion first. That's where the next segment begins. There's a moment, usually quiet, when a trader stops fighting. Not because he's given up, but because he's finally seen the truth. The market was never the enemy. You stare at the screen, noticing how calm it looks. The same chart that once made your heart race. The candles move. But you don't. For the first time. You just observe. No rush, no fear. No desperate urge to control what comes next. That's when you realize. The power was never in predicting every move, but in managing your response to it. True control isn't in the market. It's in your reaction. It's in the pause before you click buy. It's in the silence between impulse and discipline. You start to see how your losses taught you more than your wins. Every blown account, every revenge trade. They weren't failures. They were mirrors. Reflecting the exact point where ego tried to take over. You remember all those times you thought, if I can just fix my strategy, I'll fix my results. But now, you know better. It was never the strategy. It was the mind behind it. When you let go of the need to control, the market stops feeling like chaos. It becomes a rhythm. Unpredictable, yes. But not hostile. You don't predict anymore. You prepare. You don't chase outcomes. You manage probabilities. And strangely, that surrender doesn't make you weaker. It makes you sharper. More aware. More in tune with the only thing that's truly within your grasp. Yourself. The irony is beautiful. The moment you stop trying to control everything, you gain control over the one thing that matters most. Your decisions. Your emotions. Your peace. That's the point where trading becomes something else entirely. No longer a battle. No longer a chase. But a conversation. Between you and the market. Between your patience and your fear. Between acceptance and ambition. And you realize. This is what mastery looks like. Not perfection. Not endless wins. But balance. Because in the end, control isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to let go. The trader who surrenders to uncertainty doesn't lose control. He redefines it. And when that truth sinks in, you stop searching for the perfect trade. You start building the perfect mindset. In the final segment, we'll close the circle. Understanding what it truly means to move beyond the illusion. When you finally stop trying to outsmart the market, something changes. The charts haven't changed. The volatility is still there. The candles still move up and down, sometimes violently. But the noise inside your head goes quiet. You begin to see the market for what it really is. A mirror. It doesn't reward certainty. It rewards adaptability. It doesn't punish emotion. It exposes it. Every trader walks through the same cycle. From confidence to fear. From control to surrender. But only a few make it through to the other side. The side where control is no longer an obsession, but a balance between trust and awareness. You stop needing to be right. You start wanting to be consistent. And that's when the game changes. You trade less. You wait more. You protect your capital like it's oxygen. Because you finally understand. Your edge isn't your system. It's your state of mind. The illusion fades. The noise softens. And what's left is clarity. Quiet, steady, focused clarity. You're not controlling the market anymore. You're controlling yourself within it. And maybe that's all you ever needed to do. The market is not chaos. It's a mirror that reflects who you are, every time you take a trade. The sooner you see that, the closer you get to real freedom. If this message resonated with you, remember, control begins within.